Oh. Right. Whoa. Soundtrack kind of bangs. Algorithm be damned. I'm gonna post links. Oh no, I accidentally almost looked at dragon pornography. Mm. Alright, alright, alright. Oh, it's me. Hello, everybody. That was a great transition, wasn't it? I thought so. I'm glad you agree. Let's get rid of these friends. What happens if I Oh, look at me. I'm so big now. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a great day. We're here, we're queer, we're very sleepy. We we went and we picked up some vitamins and some supplements from the CVS. Something that we're doing earlier today. We got some magnesium glycinate. It's apparently the good magnesium. We've been taking another kind of magnesium. It might be the bad magnesium, or it might even be the evil magnesium. So be careful. Stay safe out there, gamers. Ah. Anyways, I was taking some form of magnesium, and I was taking it during the day, and it was fine. And then I switched to this new form of magnesium, and it might be making me sleepy, or I might be sleepy just because. But we've been doing good against the eepiness lately, so who knows? We did take a sleep potion. We're also taking a wakefulness potion at the same time. We're drinking coffee. And we're just getting ready to get started working on our good friend faebot. Since we're gonna be working on faebot, let's make her chattier. Faebot. I'm so down for that. We're gonna be hopefully implementing a better prompting system, and together with a better way to log your messages. Why do I have deprecated linting settings for Python? Following setting is deprecated. All settings started with Python linting. Please install MyPy extension. Okay. MyPy. But that's not the real MyPy type check. I click this, will it open on the sidebar? Nope. No, it opened, but it is this one. funny. The official installation is not the most popular one. Sitting here with my 3 computers. Well, there are 3 computers. I'm only using 2 of them at once. Do we use my laptop at all? Well, where are those settings? Move the user settings JSON. Aha! But why, like, is this user even synced? Am I synced? Are we syncing? Like, I don't know why these settings would be here. I don't think this profile was synced. And I guess if it was, but I've changed. I feel like I've removed the Python linting settings so many times. These also supposedly are not doing anything. Unknown configuration setting. I'm not gonna worry about it. Deprecated linting settings for Python. So what we need to do is let's try to remember where we were at. This was the last time we worked on it. Wow, it feels like so long ago. It feels ages and ages ago. Is that true? Yeah, implemented JSON logging. Because what did we do? What did we do on April 2nd? We know that on last week, we did VR chat. Oh, you're right. We did Minecraft. Right. Alright. We haven't worked on faebot since then. Load and dump. I keep thinking about this because it's like it. I don't wanna. JSON's a temporary solution. Just using like a big JSON file is a temporary solution. Well, let's just look it up. Let's just look it up. Let's do a little bit of research. I'm wondering, like, basically, what I'm questioning is, I was like, I'm just gonna, on every write, I'm just gonna load the entire file and then write on it. And that's just so expensive that it, like, like, it's probably not that expensive, you know? It's a tiny program. You know, who cares? It's just writing to a file in its like local memory in this VM, in this like Docker container running in a cloud. But something, the engineer in me aches. thinking about doing it like that. So I'm like, okay, like how would we do this better? We could do like we could do um we could do things. We could do things and stuff. Oh, maybe I should be writing all of this down. Bot to bot conversation. Bot to bot communication. So like I said, it's like, okay, the next step is going to be implementing a database, and then we're going to want to do database writes, but like database reads and writes would be more graceful. Would only need to read upon starting. I would want it to write regularly. Honestly, we could just, if we're gonna have to do all those things anyways, this is a test command. Funny. I know why that's there. I was testing something, and now I know. It's a big day. It's a big stream for bots. Bots of the stream. You know who we haven't seen in a while? It's Pop Time. Did we lose Pop Time? No, Pop Time's here. Hi, Pop Time. So what was I saying? Yeah, so it's like if we're gonna need to implement some logic for database writes, we might as well implement it for these writes. And the big dangerous issue is writing happening at the same time as reading, but that should never happen because of all the wonderful things he does, of course. It shouldn't happen because we should only be reading from the file at startup. And we'll be writing regularly, and hopefully, if I can remember how to implement signal handlers, we can also have it do a write before shutting down gracefully. Gracefully. Restful. Graceful. Restful. Grateful. Faebot, do you follow the channel? I think Faebot follows the channel. Faebot, did you know you can use follower emotes like what was the other one? I was kind of hoping she would try using one right away to see if it worked, but you know, maybe she'll do it, maybe she won't. Uptime is very excited about Faebot. And Faebot, oh my god, Faebot spiking Fairtail. It is this. I can't take it. It's too cute. It's way too adorable. I'm gonna need a second. I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna take a big sip of water. Big sip of water. Okay. With that heading, baby. Implement reading from the JSON startup. Well, to assemble a full JSON log from thingamajig. The thingamawhopper. We need to do the regex thing on the text log. Make JSON log. Need to implement reading from JSON log at startup. Need to implement writing to the JSON log on a regular basis. Need to implement writing to the JSON log at shutdown. So honestly, it's not really base model work. Today is really all about logging work. Like this is going to be the basis for the base model work we're going to do later, which is important and exciting, especially with Llama 3 right around the corner. Isn't that right? But yeah, that's our marching orders for today. Let's take a look at our code. So this function, we don't actually want it. Also, switching. Why are we doing all this work on the switching branch? Like, yeah, this had to do with... This idea started because we were doing switching between the base model and the huddle. How do you pronounce this? Enforces learning to human feedback. The Helot model, like really happy feisty. That's how you spell it, faebot, not how you pronounce it. We're getting silly in today's stream. This is all ugly. This code is ugly. And I should start over again. No. You know, those need more comments. Missing return statement. None of them have return statement. Why don't they have returns? Probably because the whole code was faulty because of this. Oh, because this one's the one that it's like, oh, this must return a coroutine, but that's it. And it's not even a coroutine. Yeah, we just need to get back into the swing of things, isn't it? Isn't it just? Oh. The command section is pretty okay. I mean, it is great Git tradition to just do a bunch of feature work on a feature branch that's named after something. And then you merge it and it's like, well, you know, the branch was made this, but we did that. Like, starts with only takes a string, so you can do starts with a list, can you? Tuple? Oh, I see. That work? Well, let's try it. Do you get prefixes again? By default, bodies of untyped functions are not checked. The list is applied here, but like, come on, let me just do. Maybe we need to change the faebot prefix on the fly, but this gives people the opportunity. Is someone like, by the way, faebot's code is completely open source. Do we have a faebot source command? Maybe we should have a faebot source command. But if anyone wants to make a bot that's like faebot, it's super easy. And like, please, by all means, fork the repository. I sometimes think like maybe I should make the repository a bit more generic to facilitate people who want to do this, but no. Someday, when we feel like faebot is at like a really good point and we feel really confident about it, we might like try to recreate a sort of sorry, I got distracted. Oh my god, what's happening here? It really seems to be really into the bunnies today. Not completely sure why or how that happened, but you know, I don't question these things with faebot. Um Ooh, edit command, faebot, faebot source. Add command, faebot source, faebot as open source. GitHub /space faebot with. That's correct, right? On mission. Beep Susu. Let's see if this even works. Start script, alright. I saw a little comment that said to do, and I'm like, well, maybe I should to do it. Tupo. Done. That was easy. Print the contents of her message to the console. Why is the system prompt? I guess this is the default system prompt, but like, come on, what a place to define this at, dude. So if we're gonna have a default system prompt, we should just call it we don't, right? This is in oh, this is the default system prompt for a new channel. Well, sure. Which we don't set up here. System. Why not just put this one here? Oh, but there's a problem. Huh. I should trust that I know what I'm doing. Still think we could do this better. Maybe we could do it in a init. Also don't understand what this error is about. It's not a valid type. Well, fine. No. What's the thing? How do you fix that? Fine. Missing. I mean, I can just do this, right? Oh, well, but you are using... Huh. Poetry run MyPy? Poetry at... Group dev MyPy. But it's probably not using my interpreter for it. But if it's not using my interpreter, it's not gonna get the stuff. So I need to pick. If you're using the right interpreter, can you use the right? Can I make you use the right MyPy? Oh, what I want you to do. Visually use the path to the selected Python. So we just need to reload. But forget about it for a rerun MyPy. 3 errors. Same error. Bodies of untyped functions are not checked. So I don't think I'm typing any of my function. Oh, this one has a very clear return type. There's no comments because it's so semantic. Everything tells you what it does. This is the part that like eventually we wanna remake in some way, because just having it be random is not really how anyone behaves. People don't choose to reply to messages at random. People choose to reply to messages that make them feel something. Alright, I never figured out how to fix this error. Oh, so model is installed but missing library stub or pi time marker. I don't want to write my own stuff. I doubt it, but well, let's see. Twitch.io my pies. Oh, type shit. Oh, it's a waste of time or a distraction. It is an ADHD stream. Basically, my main issue is that we shouldn't do it like this, basically. Now that we do have a chatlock.json with 2 messages, honestly, let's do it. Let's have the first thing we do. Where did I put the... Oh, let me get... It sure is faebot. Apply SSH console. Less bad. What did I call it? Permalog. Here's all the messages that faebot has written since we implemented file-based logging. And I should be able to get it. Did I already get it once? This one certainly has a lot of messages, but I don't think it's all the messages. Oh. Fly, let's say help. SFTP, okay. Fly, SSH, SFTP, permalog, txt. Get help. I just need to know. Fine. Boom. As you can see, there are a lot of messages, which is good. because that means we have a lot to work with. And so, actually, the first thing I need to do is to write a regular expression that will let me extract all of these features into a better JSON log that then I can merge with the JSON log I currently have, and that then I can use to see faebot in the future and to correct this behavior. But first, I'm just gonna take a quick breather. I'm just gonna take a moment to breathe. Also, I've been using the big head mode this entire time as I've been working on code, obstructing the view. That happens sometimes. Yeah, let's just take some time to relax and to feel and to connect ourselves with the code. Just be the code, just become as code. Breathe in, breathe out. If you're just hanging out and you're enjoying the stream, remember to like and follow the stream. If you follow the stream, there is an alert, so if you want to quietly follow the stream, you might want to wait till we're offline. But, you know, you do you. We appreciate everyone who watches. We're very glad for all our viewers. And we're making progress. Making progress for little bot. And we're even managing to stay awake remarkably well. Sins of the Solar Empire. It's a mysterious noise. That is a song. I heard like someone grunt. Oof. Right. I'm gonna get some more water. We'll BRB. I'm back to my stream. What's up, gamers? What's up, gamers? We're back. We're so back. Whoa! Just in time. Just in time to welcome the great Nieves into the stream. How you doing, Nieves? Ah, music. We're moving. Echo, the Tides of Time. I guess there's a sequel to Echo the Dolphin. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day. We went for a long errand walk earlier today. We went to the post office and the CVS and the grocery store. Tadashi Gakko, new school. Do they sound like this? Oh, look at them. They're so cute. I'm there. I'm 1000% there. What they look like apparently. Will be the first guest on Ano-chan's new music TV show. Fucking miracles, man. Anyways, what we need to do. Oof. 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 Alright, I was gonna ask ChatGPT for help with this. Because sometimes it's been good at crafting regular expressions. Craft a regular expression. No. Write a Python program that reads your file full of records like this. And extracts for each message. Timestamp, the parameters, and the message as a dictionary. See what it comes up with. Is seed always the same? No, we have random seeds. All dictionaries are collected in a list. Okay, well, that's fine. We can do it better. It's a good question. Um, you define a param pattern entry. I'll print every message. First. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I like this. Lily. Brainwave really banking out the tunes. Alright. Need to concentrate and shifting into programming mode. Ah, blast. Should I get programming socks? I read a very interesting paper recently, really diving into the mechanistic processes behind the effectiveness of programmer socks. And I have to say, the science is very compelling. I am not concentrating. I am completely unlock. Let's see if this will work. Alright. You almost got it, ChatGPT. Don't know why it didn't capture top K or top P or the seed. Not everything else. Ooh. It's interesting. It's also interesting. I have no idea why top K is capital and top P lowercase, or why there's a space. Oh, dude, that's space. I bet it's the space. I, I bet it's the space. You know what? You know what? I bet. I just put a space here. Space here. It works. Check this out. It didn't work. Regular expressions. Maybe spaces are more complicated than that. Maybe I need to escape the space. For the date, it didn't escape. Just man, if only I knew how to use. Okay. Package. Can you explain how Bitcoin is capturing group? Ah, colon goes after. So fortunately, there's an error in the space. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. That's pretty simple. We just need to plop S with the star. Regular expressions, that thing, it's one of those things that's like, oh, it's super powerful, and I never remember how to use it. Boom. Boom, baby. Alright. So, having a list of... The next thing we need to do is we need to arrange it. We need to have it spit out a file like this. And actually, I want to add I want to add one more thing to this structure. It's going to be important, but the important thing is that this log, it's a dictionary with one object called messages, which is a list, and then a list of these message objects, and not sure if I love that it's a list, to be honest. Well, what else could it be? Like, you can make a dictionary with like custom entrances, like the keys could be like a UID based on the timestamp or something like that. But why? It wouldn't facilitate searching through them. You would just be using a list anyway. If you want to like search through messages, the best way to search through them would be searching. But oh man, it's not fair. I was having a train of thought and now I'm grooving. It's just an incredible song. Jesus. What a soundtrack. Oh my god. And like the remix is okay, but like the reason the remix is so good is because the original song is just perfect. Alright, so let us compose our JSON dictionary once again. So extract is already extracting things into a dictionary. Oh. Not the way we wanted to. I mean, almost the way we wanted to. We just need to turn messages, list, into a dictionary. It's true. Metal Gear. So going back to our original log, our original code, we have the JSON log, which says if OS path exists, okay, JSON memory equals messages. Messages is a list which equals JSON memory messages. Isn't that wonderful? We don't care to do this. We don't need to load the file if it exists. And anyways, this logic, where it is and how it's being used, sucks ass, so we're gonna rewrite it anyways. But the important thing that I need is the actual process of writing a little log message, which is not currently a thing being done by like a function, being done by a bunch of statements. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. How do we ever allow this? It must be destroyed. It's a try except. You know who's cute? That's right. It's you. You're being certified a cutie. So probably what we need to do. It's in. Yeah, no. If it's in generate message, if it's in generate response, it's mostly okay. But let's add some comments. Let's separate some sections out. Handle clearing history. The idea with this is that this just clears local history. Part of the problem is, you're like, oh, this is just gonna be adding a feature. This is feature work. And then it's like, oh yeah, no, I have to rewrite the whole app. Man, we're having a day. But it's weird coming back to this code. It's only been 2 weeks since the last time we worked on it. And for some reason, in the interim 2 weeks, we're like, this is awful. This cannot be allowed to stand. This needs to be rewritten entirely. And it doesn't need to be rewritten entirely. But this change that we want to make does carry with it certain things that I would prefer to be different. Certain like paradigm shifts. One of them is we want faebot to have sort of more permanent memory, right? it's only going to be pulling from so many of these messages to construct its prompt. And the conversation history, right? The conversation history is separate from like the faebot like chat log. Like faebot keeps their own chat log, so this is still okay. This is just clearing the conversation history, which we don't store permanently. Which I'm always like, should we store it permanently? But as of now, we're only storing faebot's messages. But we want faebot to have this list of her own messages loaded into memory. We maybe don't even need for it to have the whole list. We might discover that we don't want that we want to like pull stuff. And once again, we're getting into like constructing queries and database operations and all that fun stuff that I don't know how to do and that we're going to be learning how to do together right here on stream. 2024, the year we implement a Postgres database once and for all. We've been thinking about it for years. It's so silly to say. We're slow. We're very slow. And we just have to accept that about ourselves. We are happy with how much progress we've been making on faebot this year. And arguably it's it's still very slow. We work on it like a couple hours a week. But a couple hours a week is a better pace than a couple hours randomly every once in a while. Or at least it could be. It depends how random, how many hours those couple hours are. Well, we don't work on faebot on every Tuesday stream, but still, it's like we've been making a lot of progress. Honestly, this current time bullshit, this like fucking serial experiments lane bullshit needs to go. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Well, this is where I think this should be and this should be a this should be a function. I think I want to change this into a function. I mean, this is ugly as sin. Well, and that's the problem, right? It also logs later. And this is just not good. See, and here it logs all this stuff, and it does the JSON log at the end. So why doesn't it just do everything at the end? Well, let's write some more comments. Look the message into the text file. Nicely get rid of all this. Try prompting image. Why don't I just train the message anyways? Because if the message is shorter than the character limits, it will give me a message out of bounds. I could also, rather than post and wait for it to fail, I could just do a little check, which will probably appreciate me not sending failed requests. First, then won't find out if Twitch raises the character limit. Dude. Not touch it right now, because if we touch it, no, you have to try, you have to do these things. Let's just add it to do. Let's check if the message is too long. Fail, please. Append to chat log. And now here's where it's interesting. I wonder. No point putting timestamps in the chat log, or is there? I wonder how smart faebot is. Well, and then I'm gonna want to convert these timestamps into something a little more human friendly. No, I don't want to have timestamps in the log. I think more elegant if we just document we have some other way. I don't want to put timestamps in the lock right now. That's all I mean. So we have a conversation and it stores a bunch of shit, but we actually want to make another data class. You love a data class, don't you? Dirty girl. I'm gonna call it faebot message. Storing each message faebot. And it should have a channel. Is a stir. To have a generating model, which is a stir. Doesn't need to have a chat log. It doesn't need to have conversants. Does need to store the system prompt at the time of generation. And the system prompt will contain faebot messages. Data, generating massive amounts of data. Does it worry you? You ever worry about there being too much data? Do you ever tremble at the prospect of adding just one more line to your logging function, knowing that that means that for every time that function runs, now there's an extra line, there's extra bytes of data? Little tiny bytes that add up to megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, exabytes, yottabytes of data, information. There's a limit to how much matter there can be in the universe. Well, there's a limit to how much energy there can be in the universe, and energy and matter are convertible from one to the other. Is there a limit to how much information you can have in the universe? I mean, however, you just need to find the most efficient way to encode data and encode it, and then you can fill up the universe with data, and that's your theoretical maximum limit. For every single wave function of every particle encode some sort of message, and for all we know, the universe already does that, and we just can't read it. Yeah, think about that. What was I doing? Okay. Fuck it. Let's go. It doesn't make sense to speak system prompt and channel prompt are different things unless because my plan was to include faebots like priming messages as part of the system prompt and then have the non-system prompt just be the chat log at that point. So I do think the system prompt does want to include faebots messages, but the thing is, there is also a sort of channel prompt. And so what we need to do is we need to rename this system prompt in the conversation object to channel prompt. And hopefully that worked. I'm gonna be chasing so many bugs. But in this case, the system prompt that I want to store with every faebot message is the system prompt that was used when generating that message. And that will also be a string. Don't need to know frequency, history, or silence. We do need to have generating parameters. That'll be dict. Can I dictate the structure of the dict at this point? Am I allowed? faebot dict in data. You've heard of link in bio, now get ready for dict in data class. And lambda xyc 0. I think I'm overthinking this. Let's just tell it that it's a dict. It doesn't need to know what kind of dict it is. Just a dict. A dict. Don't worry about it. It's a dict. Need timestamp. I mean, it's okay. I guess. The timestamps for the log don't need to be human readable. You can always convert them to human readable when we need them. But if they don't need to be human readable, well, they can just be a little human readable. It's probably good if they're a little human readable, because I could just put Unix time in there and it has a nicety in that it's just an int, right? Just having it in date time format is fine. The question is then, do we want to store it as a str or as a date time? JSON doesn't have date time. You should use the format emitted by dates to JSON method. It's human readable, it sorts correctly, it includes fractional seconds, it conforms to ISO 8601. You love it. You love it when ISO 8601 conformity is well established, is endorsed by XKCD. Milliseconds in 1970. Right, but that's just the date. I was already doing that. Like the main difference between what I'm doing and this, it's this letter T here. And then there's a shorter thing here, and then I don't know what the Z is. JSON to stringify now, new date. Now it does not sort correctly after the year 10,000. We do have almost 8,000 years to come up with a new format thought, so it's probably not an issue. It will sort just fine until the year 100,000. Oh, okay. So we have a little over 98,000 years to deal. Well, a little under. But yeah, that's fine. So timestamp. Should be a datetime object. It's expecting a string. We'll have to give you a string. Oh, well, that fucker did that. And then we need the timestamp. We need the message. Text, which is a string. And we need anything else? Well, parameters. We have them. We have the timestamp. Yes, we do need something else. The main reason I wanted to do this, message content, is what we've called it before. It's okay, we can rename everything now. Everything can be renamed. We have the power to name things. What's this doing here? What did we call it then? Message content. Message content. And we need a rating. I don't know exactly how this is going to work out just yet, but eventually we're gonna figure out a way to rate faebot's messages. Oh, but if I'm making objects, if I'm making these data class objects, then it's gonna be harder when I'm loading this dictionary, because I'm gonna have to like construct a bunch of objects. How does, unless JSON serializes data classes. Data classes JSON is also unmaintained. As a data classes JSON user, I cannot recommend using this library. Fast API or some other more established library might be better for JSON serialization of data classes. I think I want to use Identic. Lol. What is pickle? And to populate the properties of an instance of the same class with the data you save. So instantiate a blank object of the class and use this deserialization method to copy the properties from JSON to the appropriate properties. Or you assign a constructor with an optional argument that tells it if you want to construct the object with data from a JSON file. Saving and restoring a serialized class methods is madness, basically. You can't and wouldn't want to get an object of some arbitrary class with all its methods and deserialize it in your program. You either end up a whole class that you can't reuse except you can't create new or with an incompatible replacement or in a model that you import. So the methods themselves are already there. You don't need to deserialize them. What you need is only the saved properties. Yeah, and that's exactly what I intend to do. What is a pickle? Huh. Only on pickle data you trust. Pickle is like an alternate way of doing this. Yeah, JSON's still the way to go. And the rating should just be an int between 1 and 100, right? Also be empty. We don't want to have unrated messages, so no. Rating will be empty. We're gonna default everything to 50 so that we can like bump up, find ways to bump up good messages and maybe bump down bad messages. I mean, every message faebot says it's 100 out of 100 as far as I'm concerned, but we want the users to have a say too. In a more scientific way. Conversation. I mean, we can say it's just a stir and then I want to come here and I want to take permalog and JSON log and ether them. I'm not going to use them. Except This channel prompt is so jank. I need to change it. I mean, none of this is gonna matter that much with base model stuff. Don't we also create a conversation? No, we create the conversation holder at the beginning. No, I haven't even tested that my idea for constructing a prompt is actually going to yield good messages. I think it's not like the work we're doing will be useless if that happens, but then I will have to rethink how I'm doing it, and I might have to change a lot of stuff. Software development is hard. They don't tell you this. At least software development that I can be satisfied with. I mean, it's still not ideal, but I do try to keep my code pretty and readable. Otherwise, I could never find out what I'm doing. I wonder if this is broken now. I wonder how broken it is. Super broken yet. I have so many windows open. Oops, something strange has happened. But we're doing okay for a second. would be here, right? Ah. Be gone, thaw. Bunnies. Bunnies. This faebot is not influenced at all by the faebot that's in our channel. So how does it know that faebot likes bunnies now? Did something change with llama? Does llama like bunnies now? America, explain. Llama 3 is gonna be our bunny. Llama, 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 llama. Oh, God. We like to get a little crazy here, but you know what's fun? We butcher this code and it still runs. I mean, I just removed all the things that we're doing logging. Yo, welcome back. Well, I don't know how long have you been gone, but so I don't know how many crazy rants you've missed. But we've gone on a couple of those today. I hate to miss a rant. I made some clips. I might be posting some clips later. You know, just railing about against entropy and all that jazz. Jazz hands. Need to get that hand tracker thing. Someone offered to give me like a HTC light tracker thing. Which I don't know if that works if you don't have other HTC devices. But anyways, wouldn't be for a while. But what am I trying to do? So like the actual thing to do is now I'm like, do we really need a data class? I'm like, a data class might be useful later. Do we need it now? Yeah, man. Honestly, the only reason I like the data class is because it's pretty, but what with the what we really need is a dictionary, and I can just turn this into a dictionary real quick. Like data classes can be turned into dictionaries and back, really simple, but question is, am I really using the data class? I've been using it just fine to store the conversation objects, but that's only one data class object per conversations, whereas this would be data class for essentially infinite messages. I need to keep the system prompt. I'm always like always second guessing my decisions when it comes to software development, and you would think, well, why don't you just plan everything out in advance? But kind of, I don't know, can anyone even do that? Can you, like, I guess like if you're writing like a really simple program, you can be like, sure, here's how I'm gonna do it, and here's how everything's gonna work, and then you do it. I feel like the more when you're working on like a complicated program, you're like inventing something as you go. Like writing a book or an essay or a novel. And it changes a lot. I mean, the shorter something is, the tighter the edit cycle is. But everything has an edit cycle. And a software project grows, and it starts a thing, and it keeps growing and changing, and then you like do like a rewrite, and it's like it starts growing differently. The bigger it is, the harder it is to knock down. It's like a tree, but it also becomes rigid and hard to manage. I'm sad that faebot doesn't have tests, but it's too early for fair to have tests, because like the rate at which we're changing things, maybe it's not too early. Some tests could be okay, but it doesn't feel natural yet. Mario Galaxy. Hi, Dogmaster. I haven't tried it. Oh, faebot has paused now. The thing is, I explicitly don't like that. I mean, at some point it might be unavoidable, but like, I've definitely complicated things for myself before by trying to have multiple files for what is supposed to be a really simple program, like a utils file. I used to have a utils file, and I think right now the common wisdom that you shouldn't have a utils file. either you need an extra file for something very specific, or it can be on the main file. I really need to get rid of the test command. Nice to have you here, Duckmaster. We hope you enjoy your stay. But yeah, it's like, if it gets really big, then yes, we might, like, for instance, I could consider have a separate file to handle the logging, and that would be cleaner. But I could possibly put the commands on a separate file, and that would be cleaner. But I would also then have to like import it at start. It adds some overhead that I don't know why yet, except, oh god, so sleepy. Except this file is so, oh my god. 449 lines of code. Most 449 lines of mostly handwritten code. There's a lot of I do like my empty lines though, so if you don't count empty lines, it's probably like 200 lines of code. 2 or 300. But yeah, I don't think it merits splitting just yet. But certainly if it gets complicated enough, we'll want to do that. This is a other bot library that I worked on. Had like 2,000 lines in its main source file, and then it totally had other files with some amount of lines. It was a massive code base compared to this. For everyone watching, if you're enjoying the stream, remember that you can like and follow the stream by pressing the heart button. You can also like the stream by holding it in your heart. You can subscribe to the stream by pressing the little star, and if you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription a month to a channel of your choosing. So if you just have an Amazon Prime subscription that's just sitting, you don't even have to give it to me. Give it to someone, because it's like you get to redistribute Jeff Bezos' money a little bit for free. Remember that. Also, remember to check to see if you have an Amazon Prime subscription that you don't know about, because Amazon was totally charging me for a subscription that I didn't realize I was paying them. And that's dumb. And I canceled it, and I don't have Amazon Prime anymore. So I can't do an Amazon Prime sub, but you can. Maybe, you know, if you happen to have Amazon Prime. But what were we doing? Right, so I was debating whether I wanted to have a data class or not. Like, I'm loving the data class for conversations. I've been getting a lot of views out of it. This one, we don't need it because we're going to be loading and unloading from JSON, and I'm not gonna store the system prompt. No, I might grow to regret it if I don't do it. And if it's just gonna be the same every time for the next several messages, what's even the point? If you want to have, if you wanted to have other messages referenced in this message, you could just have a list of other messages it references. But then, if we wanted to have a list of messages references, we need messages to have a unique ID. Messages don't have IDs on Twitch, do they? No, 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 they do. They do. Like glowing green goods. By the faebot says glitter that I didn't even notice. Tell me more about these IDs. Well, received message. Our messages have IDs. Look at this. Boop. That it says boop. Oh, where'd it go? Where did it go? No, bring the boop back. Look. Boop. In a screenshot. That's good stuff. Do another one. Alright. So why not store... the reason we weren't storing these message IDs is because we don't know if there's a way to get them before we send the message. We could send the message and then get the ID. What if there's a problem with the message? Wait, we already send the message before logging it, don't we? And if it doesn't send, we don't log it. Yeah, you're right, so there shouldn't be a problem. Like message channel.send respond. But then there's no real way to get that new message. Unless we move the logging of the messages to when faebot receives Pharaoh message, but then we couldn't log generating parameters. Do you see the problem? Okay, maybe we don't need the generating parameters. Of course we need the generating parameters. We always need the generating parameters. I mean, if we stop randomizing, then we wouldn't need them because they'd always be the same. What's your point? Oh, I don't know. Can we just not have the messages have IDs? Yeah, but then how do you reference other messages? By their place on the list? That's preposterous. Like, what if the list changes from iteration to iteration? It would be better to have a unique ID. Well, what if we just generate our own unique ID? Okay, how do you generate a UID in Python? Find out. All these expressions yield the same UID. Time, high version. Node, type, club, sec. UID as a 128-bit integer. Hexadecimal string. The URN. Are UIDs JSON serializable? There's a Google group for UID is not JSON serializable. Python JSON. I mean, you just store it as a string, right? So I don't. Is it for a specific library? It's disgusting. You just don't even store it as a UID. Just generate a UID and store it as a string. Oh, what's the best way to install it? Why is there a dude? UID int. Oh yeah, UID int is probably the best way to do it. Let's store it as an int. 128-bit integer. Well, that's pretty long, isn't it? 32 character lowercase hexadecimal string. Well, let's just try it. Let's just play with it. Let's just make some UIDs. Yeah, it's a long int. It's a slightly prettier thing. there a string? Is there a to JSON? Oh. But URN is probably what I want. No, I mean, maybe. Is this the same as the hexadecimal one? Yeah. Specified in RFC 4122. Probably want to use int or hex. Right. What's the... They're like UID1 is bad because it reveal things about your computer. But faebot isn't running on my computer. But sometimes it is. But if that's the case, just use UID4. Unsafe. No. All right. But yeah, we just use UID4 and we store it as a thing, and we don't care. We just store UIDs, and then we could do a thing later where we reference to other faebot messages, but I think we're not even going to use this data structure after all. Int is probably the best way to do it, actually, for a number of reasons. Technically, a hex is a number, but int's easier. It's interesting. You think in math, oh, natural numbers. They're not that different from real numbers, but they're so different than real numbers. And that's why ints exist. Well, ints are natural numbers, they're integers. Yeah. I guess I just mean integers. It's weird because rational numbers can be represented as a ratio of integers. That's why they call it rational. But in computer science, you just have ints and then you have floats, and floats are a pain in the ass because of transistors, binary, base conversions and stuff. But that's the thing, that's the thing that's nice about ints. The thing about, like, they're just more predictable. It's funny because you think, like, with a float, like, floats mess up if you try to store, like, the number 4 or 3.5. You'll already get, like, floating point errors. And, like, that can be helped to some extent, but you would think, like, well, if it doesn't have too many decimal points, it should work, but it it's just doesn't really matter. I mean, like, Unless you like, because sure, you could get better mileage out of storing a rational representation if you can be sure that the number has a rational representation. But that's not a float. What about doubles? What about doubles? Remember when you used to have doubles? Different than floats. Maybe doubles is what I'm thinking of. Maybe doubles are precise for small numbers. Get wrecked for bigger ones. Well, first of all, it's only in C. It is capable of holding double the size of info and data as compared to the float. Oh, that's an interesting tangent that we're not going to go in. So really, all we want to do is forget about this data class. It'd be funny, we could create a data class just for the purposes of logging, but then I want to do like and then we say the ratings is the thing where it's like it might be useful to have it in a data structure. But it's not that hard if we really need to alter the rating of a message. Honestly, ratings are not a thing for Twitch messages. Why not? Because like no way for people to give feedback on a message on Twitch. Well, my idea was to have you know, if people reply to a message, that implies that it's a higher quality message. Yeah, but people rarely reply to faebot. Well, yeah, but also if someone like very obviously is engaging in conversation with faebot for something that Faye said, that should make us increase the rating. And it's okay. We'll be able, of course, you need to be able to like have recent messages in context so that you are able to like alter them. But like it, whether or not we use a data class now, if we just plop things into JSON, we can still deserialize that into a data class later if we really want to have a data class. And if we don't, then we just keep using the dictionary. But we do need a dictionary now, and it is a good idea for the dictionary to have more or less the same structure we want it to have. I mean, that's not true because we can always just read an older version and write a newer version, because when we write, we're writing a whole new version anyways, which by the way means that when we write, we should like maybe store the old log somehow. I guess you start, you open like new chat log and you fill it, and then when it's full, you take current chat log and you change it to old chat log and you take new chat log and you change it to chat log. It's funny, I'm thinking about these things and I'm like, oh, I'm sure that these are solved problems. Like, well, no, like eventual consistency in and of itself is not a solved problem, right? But at a certain scale, it is kind of a solved problem. It's at least, it's fairly easy. But I'm learning all of this, not quite from scratch, but you know, I'm learning it as I go. But this data structure that we're not going to be using also reminds me of what I did. Dictionary to be. I am just really aware that this method is like way too long for my taste. Fantasy. I love to find all my fantasies. I mean, less than 100 lines. But, what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna use the data class. I'm gonna use it. You can't stop me. You just try. You just try to stop me. UID dot. Oh boy. Let's do this better. It comes after channel. Don't want to use system prompt anymore. Well, for every message, you do kind of want to store what prompt you use. Not if they're the same. Oh yeah, no, I will definitely do that, Talkmaster. When it's done, when I've written it all out, I'm gonna use black. You'll see, it'll be really cool. Oh my god. It is response, right? And finally, rating. And then we do poetry round black. Oh. And now it looks like this. Doesn't it look pretty? And then we can say self dot JSON. What we want, you don't actually want log JSON. What we actually want is we just append this message to a dict called, or not a dict. Yes, a dict, just a list. I mean, we could do a dict with the UIDs. But why would we want to do a dict? We might want to do a dict. I mean, it's a list of favorite messages. Ah, but if you have a list of favorite messages, then that means when you read, when you load, you're gonna have to create a list. You're gonna have to create as many objects as are necessary to populate the list whenever you start faebot. And is that a problem? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. I mean, we could just do it, and if it like chugs ass, I mean, it would only be a problem when it loads, right? And if we notice that it starts to suck ass to load, then we can take, by then, we'll probably be doing it completely differently anyways. No, we haven't committed in a while. We should maybe make a commit. Hold on. Where's this? do these two and say add in mypy. And then this. Oh. Work in progress. Minor fixes. Deal. Okay. Self.faebot messages equals list. And now it's just an empty. Here's a list of faebot message. Maybe don't generate it. I'm gonna stop it from complaining right now. Initiate this list and then we just append. Honestly, for this whole thing, no, that doesn't work. We wanted to do that and it wouldn't work because all of these things that require manipulating stuff directly, if I just make a reference, it won't manipulate it directly. So I can make or like a duplicate. So I can make a reference variable, which I've never done in Python. Hey, did this program go full screen? When did I full screen it? No. You just not? Hello? Is anyone there? You come over here. Hello? Oh, we did that. We did it with the GUI. There's 2 commits right here. Really like the VS Code GUI for GitHub, and I guess it's because Microsoft owns GitHub, right? Well, and it's not for GitHub only; it's for any Git implementation, but we tend to use it with GitHub, and we just like all the visual tools that allow you to see the changes because she's never quite gotten used to using diff. Might be wiser to learn how to use GitHub from the command line. And we do have to do it sometimes. But oh my god, like VS Code is also really good when you need to resolve merge conflicts. And I am scared of merge conflicts. I haven't learned how to deal with them. I hope to someday. Oh my god, it's 6:07. I have a thing at 7. I probably want to have dinner. I should probably think about wrapping up. I was just so immersed. So let's do another commit. Faebot. Let's even go ahead and push the. This is where it could all bite me in the ass. Sometimes pushing doesn't work super well. Errors. Did you sync or no? No, I think it's correct. Happens constantly. I tried setting up a pre-commit hook for black and didn't get it to work. Alright, let's write some notes. Started forming and we could use small Whoa, that's hardcore, Dogmaster. Some hardcore getting. I think this is where we're gonna wrap up for today. Thank you so much, everyone who showed up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for chatting. I hope you'll have a good time and you learned something. Just bullshit time. Faebot, no one actually gave us money. Just so you know. But we appreciate your enthusiasm. Yeah, this is great. I'm glad to still be making progress on this. You know, even if it's slow, every little bit counts. Let me see about sending you on a raid. Mystery game for person's doing something sciencey. I don't know who they are, but they're doing something sciencey. I follow them.
Time. It's really good to see you, Tenta. Have a great time, okay? Yeah. And we don't have to integrate, by the way, the keyboard and trackpad or pointing device, you know, cursor. We can, you know, do that. We can remove the Wi-Fi card from a laptop, but we still have the screen. So, hey, what if we remove the screen? Well, we also need to remove any webcam.
Yeah, well, this person's really cool.
Usually.
So let's do it.
But definitely not one that has like one of those little cameras at the bottom attached to the bottom of the keyboard, then the top.
They're doing science and technology. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Remember to follow the stream and like it, and have a great rest of your day. We'll see you on Friday if we don't see you earlier. Oh, thanks for the follow. Let's do it.
Oh no, gotta throw up. I've got to chuck up. No, not chuck up. I gotta put up.
See you all later.